Hey there again, this is Gilbert with Mobile Detailing LA. You can follow my Instagram at Mobile Detailing LA. And today we're going to go ahead and be talking about low ballers and how I handle them and how you can handle them yourself. Let's go ahead and get started.
So Gilbert, how do you deal with low ballers?
So the way that I deal with low ballers is I kind of just figure out why they're trying to lowball, whether it's they're on a budget or like if they think whatever I'm offering is worth that price. If they're working with a budget, then you know I'll work with them and I won't give them that full service for that low balling budget that they want, but I'll work with them and I'll give them a service accordingly to the budget that they're on.
So Gilbert, what's the number one low baller excuse?
So I think the number one excuse would be that a lot of people say like, oh, if you give me this discount, like I'll bring you a lot of clientele, or like, oh, if you hook me up with this, like I'll book a diamond package with you next time or something, you know? Like they just try to work with me and they just try to convince me that they're gonna somehow benefit my business and that's why they deserve that discount. Yeah. But for the most part it never works, you know?
Dang. So talking about discounts, have you ever had customers asking for discounts? What do they usually say?
So they have. I remember once this elderly person asked me if I give elderly discounts.
All right, senior discount?
Yeah, so a senior discount. I mean, it made me think about it at first, but I was like, since they already asked, you know, I don't want to be like, oh, no, like, just forget it, you're old. Like, I'm not going to, you know? Yeah. So I was just like, I'll give you a free spray wax, you know, but as money-wise, like discounts, I'm not going to give you like no discounts and stuff like that, but I did end up giving them like a free spray wax on their vehicle. Yeah. So
strictly no discounts ever?
Yeah, no discounts, only unless like if I sponsor you or like, you know, I have one of my clients, he's my boy, and he's brought me like a lot of clientele, and he's never asked for a discount. Yeah. But I've just gave it to him just because like he's benefited my business. Yeah. And so I mean, but he's never asked for nothing.
So Gilbert, have you ever lost clients because you had to raise your prices or change packages?
No, so for the most part, I've never changed my prices or anything. My prices have always been set. I've just added new things to the price list, but for the most part, I haven't really like raised my prices or lost any clientele. The only prices that I did change was for my full detail, and the only reason they changed, which is really understandable, is I upgraded machines and I got me a hot water extractor. So I mean, you know, when it comes to stuff like that, where it's like I'm making a big investment to get a better result for the clients, then you know, I think the price went up about $50 per detail. I would charge $150 a full detail, and now the starting price for full details is $200 a car and $250 SUVs.
So Gilbert, for like friends and family or your homies, like do you give them discounts or?
So for the most part, family cars, I always tend to do them for free, you know, because it's family. I'm not going to charge them. The money is going to stay in the same household anyways. Yeah. But when it comes to like friends and stuff like that, for the most part, I mean, if they want to use my services, they're going to support it. Yeah. And I mean, you know, they're going to pay full price, but you know, I'm gonna either hook them up with like I'm gonna go in with a detail brush on the interior instead of just, you know, just passing the rag and stuff like that, or I'm gonna just hook them up with some bead maker and stuff like that.
So your friends and family, they pay because they want to support your business.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I mean, you know, if they just want a regular car wash, I don't care. They can go to a regular car wash, you know. But if they want to support my business, then you know they're gonna support it. So.
Good. And for the most part, you said that they're like, hey, just charge me the full price.
Oh yeah. So for the most part, like, luckily I have, like I said, I have people who are willing to support my business and stuff like that. Yeah. So they never try to haggle like, oh, you gonna hook me up with a price and stuff. You know, they're willing to pay the full price and stuff like that.
So Gilbert, going back to like the low ballers, have you ever gone to an appointment and you complete the job and you leave the car looking like, you know, brand spanking new? Yeah. And then they pay you a different price than what was agreed upon?
Yeah, so I actually have. I had a client once where they booked in for a full detail, and this was before I changed my full detail prices. So they had a SUV, and I told them, I was like, oh, the price is gonna be $170, you know, and they were cool with it. They weren't haggling or anything. So then I went, did the full detail, made everything look good, and when I was done, they came out and then they kind of gave me the money like in a little bunch. And
oh shit!
Like when they gave me the money, I was like, oh, go ahead and check out the car. And then while they were checking out the car, I came to the back of my van. I counted up the money, and it was like $30 short. Yeah, so I was like, hold up. So I recounted it and I made sure I didn't drop any of the money. And then I kind of just went back while they were checking out the car. I was like, hey, like, you know, I don't mean to, like, I don't want to cause any trouble or anything, or like, you know, I don't mean to knock you down or anything like that, but I'm $30 short.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh yeah, well, you know, they told me, they're like, oh, I thought it was gonna be cool like that because the car wasn't too bad in the shape. And I'm like, well, look, we agreed on the price over the phone, text. I have it in text. I can show you right now. We agreed on 170, and then you know, you cut me $30 short. And then they were just trying to, they were like trying to convince me that the money was, that they paid me was worth the job that I did, and I was like, no, it wasn't. Like,
dang. So does that kind of make you want to only take like what do you call it, online payments or like Zelle or all that stuff?
For the most part, not really, because it rarely happens. Like I said, like for the most part, most of my clients, like they always end up tipping me instead of like trying to lowball me.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so I mean, I've never really thought of like taking the full payment only online, and you know, only doing the appointments they pay in full before. Yeah.
Got it. So then going on to like tipping, like do most customers tip you?
Yeah, so for the most part, it's like kind of like if you were to go to a restaurant, you know, if the service was great and everything, yeah, it's kind of like a must that you must tip, just because it's like, you know, the people are out here working, and you know, if they deserve that tip, then you know, I feel like they really do get it.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's the same service, you know, like I obviously show customer service and I try to do the best at what I do. Mm-hmm. Not for the tip, but for the client satisfaction. Yeah. And I guess that just comes along with the tip, you know. I guess people see that, you know, oh, like he's a cool guy, or like on the way he did what he was supposed to. Yeah. And they just end up tipping. Yeah, but for the most part, about like 95% of my clients always tip me.
What's like the average tip you get like for a typical detail?
So let's say it varies. I would say in between, like somewhere in between my bronze and my gold, it varies in between $5 to $20. Mm-hmm. And then once you start getting into like the more higher end appointments and stuff, like the diamond packages or like even the full interior details and stuff like that, where it's like they're spending a little bit more on the service, the tips tend to be less. Yeah. But for like the lower paying services, like the bronze, silver, and gold package, those normally tend to be a lot more.
Got it. So have you ever gotten like a low baller tip, like you do a bronze package and they tip you like $1?
I actually had someone, I think they paid me like $3.20 or something like that. Like they just pulled the change I had out of the pocket, like they just went to McDonald's or something, and they just pull like the ones, and they're like, oh, we got this, and then pour the little coins in my hand and stuff. But I mean, you know, anything is appreciated, you know, whether it's $1. Even when people offer drinks or like little snacks, like I take that as a tip, and you know, like I'm really grateful for everything. You know, it's money that they earned or it's stuff that they bought that they're giving to me. So I mean, I'm appreciated with anything, even if they don't give anything.
Got it. So would you say that the tips play a big part into like the income you make, or like?
So they actually do, just because like, let's say the tips let's say the tips I got yesterday, I used that money to buy my lunch and everything like that. So I use that money to waste the day of. Yeah. So the money that I made detailing and all that's just income, you know. Yeah. I'm not wasting it or anything. I'm wasting the tip money for that week. So there you guys have it. That was me talking about how I deal with lowballers. Let me know down below how you guys deal with lowballers. And I also talked about the tips. Let me know what was your biggest tip that you ever received out on a job. If you like this content, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Follow my Instagram at MobileDetailingLA, and we'll go ahead and see you guys on the next one.